Having a WordPress site is like having sex. If you ignore certain safety procedures, then you might eventually end up with some unexpected consequences. Let's have a look at the spurious correlations between those nice pictures, between websites and the nicest thing in the world. Both pictures show the impact of users. While the right picture shows an amazing miracle and a deliberate user, the left one shows the exact opposite, despite the gradient of the graph. The left picture describes an unwanted and uninvited intruder who created a user and is misusing your server beyond your control. And that means in the best case, that it's only used for spam. And the worst case, it means your website is completely compromised and content is modified. And you as the customer, you have the choice whether you buy cheap or reasonably. So today you will learn what the difference is between a great WordPress company who keeps their customers safe and gives them the full pleasure, and those who don't. And of course, we'll give you the construction manual of how to become the best WordPress hoster on this planet. Well, why should you care about WordPress at all? So who of you has a website? Hands up. Is there anybody without a website? Come on. So what about WordPress? Who uses WordPress for the website? No wonder. Somebody from an agency? Yeah, we have a few agencies here. What about hosting companies? Great. So you're exactly in the right talk here. And at Plesk, we love numbers, and we want to understand our customers really well and the global trends. And I'm happy to share some interesting insights today with you that will help you all to sell more at higher ARPUs. Are you ready? Last year, same stage, the number of WordPress, or the market share of WordPress was 30.0%. And we keep talking about it because of importance and growth potential. For those of you who don't know yet, WordPress powers a third of all websites worldwide. And WordPress is meanwhile a must-have for cloud service providers and hosters. The usage of WordPress continuously grows and is by far the most popular tool for building websites ever. And of course, we at Plesk, loving numbers and measuring everything, we wanted to understand who actually hosts most WordPress sites in the world. And there are tons of research companies out there, but they either scan only the first 1 million or the first 10 million websites, or they ignore the duplicates, domain aliases, and so on. But honestly, we wanted to have far more evidence and really break down all the website and technology data into each hosting company on this, in this galaxy. And so we continuously scan the whole web. And thanks to our other brand, Xovi.com, which are the experts in the SEO industry, we already had deep insights into all websites worldwide. So now let's get into numbers. There are 220 million registered domains worldwide, but only 88 million are ranked by Google or other search engines. So let's have a look at some fresh data points. You can clearly see that the GoDaddy group hosts most of all WordPress sites with a real domain name ranked by Google. Subdomains are not included in this chart, neither are WordPress sites that are only included in subfolders like /blog. And that's a bit unfair for Automatic, since they host actually many WordPress sites on subdomains, like Löffler.wordpress.com. And so they are not included in this chart. Neither are sites like blog.mydomain.com. But there's something you cannot see in this picture. Plesk is actually powering the second largest amount of WordPress sites worldwide and is quickly growing. You might ask now, if those 15 companies here are also the most popular in terms of WordPress hosting, have the best service generating the highest ARPU? Well, if you ask web professionals or WordPress professionals and web agencies around the globe, you'll definitely get a different picture. These are actually the hosting companies that are mentioned most as the best and most popular companies for WordPress. That's quite confusing, isn't it? We were confused as well. Most of them are growing nicely, have highest NPS rates. So why is that? What's the difference compared to all the other players, and what makes them stand out of the crowd? To understand what a good WordPress offering is, we first need to understand the workflows, the pain points, and the needs of WordPress users. And we are especially interested in those WordPress users that use it on a daily basis and use it professionally. Installing a WordPress site, come on, that's a piece of cake. That's not a challenge. But keeping a WordPress site secure over time, maintaining it, and making it successful, that's the challenge. Let's have a look at what those users say. Web professionals, these are people whose business is to develop professional websites, who want to earn money with it. And this target is especially very interesting for us because while earning money, they are willing to pay a premium for more value that saves their time. Because for web agencies, it's not the cheapest price that counts. It's all about throughput, how many customers they make happy. So what do those web professionals actually need? They need first security. They need reliability, convenience, and performance. Not only from WordPress, but especially from you as hosting companies. And guess what? All those users, they need WordPress. You might say, yeah, come on, Jan, Captain Obvious is here. But there are actually a lot of hosters marketing WordPress on their websites and then suggesting to install Joomla or Drupal. That's like inviting your love to a candlelight dinner and then going to a fast food restaurant. At least, if you offer WordPress, then do me a favor and write it with a capital P, or you will never ever gain credibility. It's so crazy. 60% of hosters worldwide write WordPress wrong. Isn't that crazy? Would you trust a company that does not care? Would you buy a car from a car vendor that writes Mercedes with a Z? So we ask a lot of agencies and freelancers working with WordPress on what factors they are focusing their hosted decisions. And one really important answer was the reliability of services. And you should know your service provider very well because you need to trust them the most. Imagine using a faulty condom. It might feel safe at first, but you will regret deeply afterwards. Securing your website happens on multiple layers, and as the hoster, you should be liable for the data center, infrastructure, and the whole software stack. So you may have to make sure to keep all the layers updated and secured. What differs or differentiates a WordPress hoster from a great managed WordPress hoster is the support till application level. Set the right file system permissions. Keep WordPress, themes, and plugins up to date without ever breaking the site of your customer. Take care of your customer's security. And most importantly, offer the right support with WordPress expert support, where you can call and you get the right answer about how to run your campaign and where the problem with your database query is. And you need to educate your customers to get better. According to the latest research from Sucuri, 90% of all hacked CMS sites in 2018 were WordPress, which is no wonder because of their market share. But 44% of all hacked sites have been hacked because they used an outdated core version. And I'm not even talking about plugins and themes here. So come on, how easy can it be to protect those 44% of hacked sites by just keeping them updated? But here comes the tricky point. Most agencies we talked with told us that they're actually afraid of updating the WordPress sites of their clients. And if they do it much too late. And that can be a real security risk. So you need to give them the right solutions to test those updates and make it safe to update. So let's go quickly through some minimum requirements. Provide DDoS mitigation for all customers on your platform. Don't only sell it per domain, because it won't help if your neighbor receives the attack. The attack will tear down the whole server. Make sure to keep all the components of your software stack updated and permanently scan for malware and vulnerability. It's easier to hack sites than you think. On the weekend, we had the CloudFest hackathon, and we just tested the security of the most popular hosters in the world. Almost none of them actually found malware. That's quite depressing. So there, we can do better. And force your customers to use strong passwords everywhere, and only strong passwords. Never use Apache modules anymore, like mod Perl and shared hosting environment. And make sure you have an up-to-date web application firewall. The list is actually far longer, but it doesn't fit my screen, and I don't have the time for it. So if you're interested in details, we have published the whole guidelines also on our blog at plesk.com/blog, or just ping me, and I'm happy to share it with you. Having a website up and running is great. What do you do in times of emergencies? Always have a plan B. In our case, always have a well-tested backup strategy. And hands up, who of you has daily backups for all your systems? So, but who of you has actually tested also if the restore works? That's less, yeah? I cannot count how many of my friends called me in the last years and told me, Jan, my whole life was on that disk, and now it's broken. Can we restore it somewhere? Can I get the data back? And what about testing? Do you test your changes first on a separate test environment, or do you test them directly on production? Imagine car vendors would sell their cars without testing. How would you feel? The problem is that solid testing can be quite time-consuming and annoying, but it's definitely required. A broken website is definitely worse, especially if your customers notice it and not your team. Most hosting companies don't support their customers at all. So testing will be a kind of testing on production. And great hosters, they offer automatic test environments, staging, and support common testing workflows. And that also means that you have to offer the right tools for those customers, those that they really need and want, like tools like Git or WP-CLI. Have you known that 90% of web agencies use Git to manage the websites of their clients? But when it comes to production, they have to use damn old FTP because the hosters don't support more modern tools and software. So come on, it's 2019, not 1999. 2 weeks ago, I met on a WordPress meetup with an agency who showed me very proud how they've automated the whole build pipeline for all the websites of their clients with automatic testing and everything. But then when it comes to pushing it to production, they showed me that they have to do it manually. That's depressing. When I told them that Plesk supports Git natively for all the websites and that you can do continuous deployment, they said, like, wow, that's amazing, where can I buy it? So I can only recommend you go to the WordCamps, speak with those people and listen to them, what they actually need, and offer the right solutions for them. And when it comes to managing multiple websites, like agencies do, agencies love to have a central dashboard where they see all the WordPress sites and can manage updates and backups and the security of all the sites at once. But it's not all about reliability and the right tools. A really third important success factor is the website performance, especially for e-commerce. Making a website fast for a single request, that's piece of cake. But keeping it reliable during crowded times, that requires tuning on multiple layers. Endurance is key here. So my recommendation to keep up with 2,000 concurrent requests per second and more is to optimize the whole server and really decrease loading times as much as possible. And that means enable server-level caching by using tools like Memcached, Redis, Nginx, or Varnish. And a CDN is a plus, but not a replacement. If you want to optimize your hosting platform for WordPress, then make sure to take a look at all of these layers here. And if you want me or want to know more, then I'm happy to give you full insights after my talk. To judge who actually does best in WordPress, we need to test with a neutral jury. And I'm absolutely thrilled to present some first results from World's Next Top Hoster, WordPress Edition. We worked together with a professional market research company to deeply review and test the top WordPress hosters in the world and benchmark them from all sides. And the top players are companies like Kinsta, Pantheon, Hostpress, GoDaddy, WP Engine, and the like. Presenting the full results would probably take more than an hour, so we don't do that, but also we need to finish some performance and stress testing, which is currently going on, where we really test how many concurrent requests per second each hoster can satisfy. And also, there's a lot of people calling the support and checking out how well those hosting companies can answer the problems or can help with the problems of the clients in regards to WordPress-specific questions. So are you interested in that insights? Then stay curious and send me an email, and I promise you to deliver the results to you after CloudFest as soon as we finish the reviews. For now, let's have a quick look at the intermediate status. And as you can see here, WP Engine is currently leading, followed by the German WordPress expert Hostpress here, which runs, by the way, on Plesk WordPress Toolkit. However, it's not the final result, so it stays an exciting battle, and we'll see in a few days who will win the race and gets the award for the best WordPress hoster. But what differentiates those top players from the rest? What makes them stand out of the crowd? That's A, an amazing support specialized on WordPress, where you get really serious advice if you plan a campaign or need to tune your site. But they are usually also very active in the WordPress community and engage, contribute code, or sponsor. The foundation, however, is a clear focus on WordPress and an optimized infrastructure. And this, of course, allows them to charge more for far more additional value than other hosters. So what's the perfect WordPress product now? It's not about which data centers or hardware sizing to offer, but about speaking the language of your customers. It's about the value that they can get from you and how they are able to succeed and get their job done with your product. WordPress users appreciate the extra value that saves their precious time, and they will spend the premium if you offer the right product. Instead, tell them how you keep them safe. Tell them how they can test their sites and how to manage changes. Tell them how flexible they are, how fast they can create new sites, how they can import existing sites, and how they can integrate their favorite tools. And even tell them how many concurrent visitors your site will be able to handle approximately. So now you've gained insights into the needs of web professionals and what differentiates great WordPress hosters from the rest. But what has this to do with Plesk now? Users don't care about control panels. Users care about a seamless WordPress experience. And Plesk exactly delivers the whole solution, including the whole technology stack, for you to become the greatest WordPress hoster on this planet. And as you've seen, some from the world's best WordPress hosters already trust and use Plesk WordPress Toolkit. They easily integrated the toolkit into their offerings and communicate its value. The WordPress Toolkit fulfills all the needs that I mentioned before. Plesk comes with all security features from kernel level up to application level, and provides multiple backup solutions, staging, maintenance support, performance tuning, caching, and most importantly, the tools that web professionals love and need. And that makes them successful and happy in the end. And one of the most exciting features of the WordPress Toolkit is Smart Update. Smart Updates is so super important because it solves the most important or most critical problem regarding WordPress sites. Because it takes care of all the updates without ever breaking a site. Thanks to a deep learning-based visual testing on dynamically created test environments. Whenever there are core plugin or theme updates available, it clones your site on an isolated, dynamically created test environment, tests all the updates, and if everything is fine, publish them on production. And if there might be an issue, then they send an email with all the detailed results to the site owner. And that means you're always in control, and the machine will never ever do something that you don't want. And this really helps to reduce all operations burden to 0. And last year, we've been to 30 WordPress events, and we often heard the question, wow, WordPress Toolkit is amazing. How can I use it if my hoster does not offer Plesk? Of course, you all should offer WordPress based on Plesk. But I'm not naive, right? So I know that's unrealistic. But we don't easily give up. We thought everybody should be able to manage their WordPress sites with the WordPress Toolkit. And today, I'm super excited to introduce you to remote management for WordPress Toolkit. And our target is nothing less than enabling users of any hoster worldwide to manage their WordPress sites independently of the hosting infrastructure. This is a true game changer because it allows all of you here to offer services like GoDaddy's Managed WP. And here it is. Yesterday, we launched WordPress Remote Management in our public beta, which enables everyone to manage their WordPress sites remotely. Join our currently free beta and help us to deliver the best WordPress management tool for you. As you can see on the screen, you can now manage multiple sites from one single dashboard while they actually are hosted on different machines. You don't even need Plesk to run those remote instances. However, only Plesk brings you the full experience. But there's much more than just WordPress, and simplifying the lives of web professionals means playing the full piano. Vincent van Gogh once said, "Great things are done by a series of small things brought together." And this is why we continuously deliver new extensions every single month that you can easily choose from and use for every use case. And yes, you can make money with them. The extension catalog is the home of more than 130 extensions, features, tools, and extra services. And each of those solves a very important aspect for designers, developers, agency owners, system administrators, online business owners, hosters, and so on. And as a hoster, you don't need to sign up with each ISV individually, handle the updates, the vendor relationship, etc. Your customers can access any extension from the well-known interface. But hey, you might ask, why are you focusing so much on extensions? This is because extensions help us to keep the core lean and robust, just like Linux. And we can open source a lot of solutions and allow customizations. We release much faster, deliver a far better quality and upgrade safety, and as a result, we deliver more value with more features and solutions that you can select from in shorter time. And this strategy is definitely not to annoy or bypass you. That's the opposite, that's the case. This approach allows you to gain or provide, to get additional revenue opportunities and to tune your infrastructure into products your customers want and need, just like a managed WordPress hosting offering that we have just seen. I would like to quickly introduce you to our latest extensions, like Google G Suite, where you can get Gmail, documents, spreadsheet, presentations for your Plesk users from an easy-to-use interface. And every single feature can be enabled on a per-user basis. And it completely integrates in your existing antivirus and anti-spam solutions. We also have completely reworked Plesk Premium Email together with our friends from Colab. And while providing now a much better user experience, more stability, and many new features, we massively dropped prices and introduced better suiting plans based on your feedback. So make sure to check that out. And since a lot of users asked us for Nextcloud, which is a great cloud storage and collaboration suite, we decided to develop a Nextcloud toolkit. And you can find it for free in our extension catalog. It's listed in our new beta category, where we deliver new ideas early on and hope to get some good feedback from you while developing it. But there's much more than just WordPress and extensions, and I'm super excited to present some news to you. This year is absolutely awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the next Plesk major release called Plesk Obsidian, which will be released this summer. And even better, you will be able to enjoy fully supported production-ready releases already in July. So before the actual big launch, you can already use it on your infrastructure and be fully supported. And there are tons of highlights of Plesk Obsidian that I could mention, but David will kick me from stage soon. So let's keep it short. We've put extra love into the product based on your feedback and those of thousands of Plesk admins. We modernized the whole web stack according to global trends. And we continued to turn Plesk into a self-driving server, just like this DeLorean here. And that will keep customers happy and safe. The most important part is already known by many of you and 150,000 server admins. That's the Plesk advisor who takes the customers by their hand and makes sure they secure their servers easily, make their websites fast, reliable, and successful. And there's a huge list of improvements of Plesk Obsidian. So if you're interested, then please come to our booth and speak with our team. They are happy to share more with you. But before you think about waiting for Plesk Obsidian, don't. If you are not yet on Plesk Onyx 17.8, then upgrade now. Earlier we learned why it's so super important to keep your WordPress instance up to date. Well, why the hell Plesk? Because it's simply the best Plesk release in company's history, with the highest NPS, the fastest growing, the lowest support volume, and as well the best security. But even more importantly, if you don't, then your customers won't get the WordPress toolkit and the advisor and the latest extensions and the highest security. And if you're not using the latest and greatest Plesk, you're ignoring current market trends and innovation. And if you're too busy to leave your comfort zone, you'll get stuck in digital stone age and won't be even qualified for world's next top hoster. But hey, no worries. The sooner you fall behind, the more time you'll have to catch up. And in order to apply for world's next top hoster, make sure you take away the following 3 statements. First, a great WordPress product increases your ARPU, but needs to be done right and advertised using the customer's language. Second, Plesk is your trusted partner for all the products you want to sell. And third, always upgrade to the latest version and stay safe. Your customers and partners will appreciate that. And we have so many more product highlights besides Plesk Obsidian, for example, Solos.io that I didn't mention yet. So let's talk. Come to our booth G33, and my team and me are super happy to walk you through, show you the demos, and explain everything, and help you with your personalized go-to-market plans, and how we can support you. And next time, when you're sitting in front of your WordPress site, then think of making love. First, because thinking of sex is always a pleasure. Only if you play an active role, not your neighbor. But second, it will remind you about the importance of safer web hosting. And Plesk is here to keep you and your customers secure. And now enjoy the rest of the show and stay safe.
Thank you, Jan.